wanted to do a quick video to show you how I water my succulents, and specifically the echeveria, because you know that the #1 reason why people kill their succulents is from overwatering, and we're not really sure when we need to water. And the good thing about succulents is that they will tell you when they need to be watered. So usually what you will see if you look closely at some of them is you may see some bottom leaves that are a little wrinkled. So let me see if I can find one. Now I try to keep them pretty watered, but I'm going to see if I can find one with some wrinkly bottom leaves. Now sometimes the leaves at the bottom, they just die just because. So like this one, you might think that this one needs to be watered, but it's okay. And what I like to do is this kind of push test. I'll push them, and if the succulent feels pretty firm, then I know it's fine. So that's just a regular dead leaf that's going to come off at some point. Same thing with this guy. So this is actually a two-headed thing. So this is a dead leaf, but if I feel it, now this one does feel a little flimsy, so it could use water, but I always err on the side of caution. So even though it's a little flimsy, I know it'll probably need water in a few days. Let me just look around. Now this one has some leaves at the bottom that are also wrinkling, but the top looks fine, and if I feel it, it's a little flimsy, but I'm still gonna wait on that one. Maybe I won't be able to find one that needs water. I thought I would be able to find one, but I usually do the feel test. Now these bigger guys, okay, now this one feels extremely flimsy, and I know it hasn't been watered in a while. I'm feeling into the dirt. I don't feel any water, but it's really, really flimsy. So I'm just going to, well, let's see, that one feels really strong, so that one doesn't need anything. Flimsy here, very strong here, very strong. So I kind of do the feel test. Strong, very strong, strong. Let's see, let me look at some of these guys. Goodness, well, I was hoping, this one's just got some normal dead leaves. This is the one I bought that was labeled neon breakers, but I know that's not what it is. Okay, this one's pretty flimsy too. The top even feels a little flimsy. I'm just going to have to find one succulent that I need to water. Okay, here's one. All right, my mason. Okay, you see these leaves at the bottom, how they're wrinkled like this? That means he's ready for water. And if I feel him, yeah, he's flimsy. So I'm going to get my watering can, and we're gonna water him. Oh, there's my little doggy, Oscar. Oscar, what you doing down there? Oh, what you doing? What you doing, baby boy? Oh, hello. You're going to help out in the greenhouse today. Okay, so I'm going to water my mason over here. Sorry about the mess, you guys. So I have my little watering can. This is water that I keep pretty much distilled in a little bucket out here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to water it completely. And I want to water all around. I'm not worried if it gets on the plant. Okay, now I see it spilling out the bottom. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna blow some of that water off. And then I'm gonna wait for a second, and then I'm gonna water it again. So making sure it gets completely soaked, and then blow off any of this water. If you see any water sitting on top, you gotta blow that off. Okay, so we're good. Let's see, is there anyone else who needs to be watered? You know, that might be it, because I always like to just wait and see if I'm not sure. Now this one may need to be watered, this Luella. You see this leaf, how it looks a little wrinkled right here. It is pretty flimsy feeling, so I think I'll go ahead and water it. So What you have to worry about though is especially the succulents with the really fat leaves. If they're looking really plump and you water them, it only takes one time of watering them too much. So any of these guys that you might see, like say the jelly bean types, or like this Graptivaria Moonglow, really thick leaves. The thicker the leaves, the more easy it is to overwater, or like this Pentandrum. So I really inspect them well and make sure that it's really what they need. Now babies tend to need a little bit more water. Oops, kicked over a pot. But anyway, like these little guys, these are my little prolificas. So even though they don't look like they need to be watered, they're babies. So they're gonna be fine. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit. Who else? Okay. Let's see. This is a transplant, but it's doing okay. Okay, so these two little guys, they both broke off of an order that I got from Korea. And they're so tiny, they do have roots. But I go ahead and water them frequently because number one, they're in a terracotta pot, and number two, they're so tiny. And I can see some of the bottom leaves are shriveled, which is fine, but they also feel, if you feel them, they feel a little flimsy. So babies can do a little bit easier without water. Okay, here's one that needs water. Okay, so this Jennifer, I know you're probably thinking that that's supposed to be there, but those are not supposed to be there, those little bumps. So that's wrinkles. So she needs to be watered. It's a Echeveria Jennifer. So I'm gonna wait for that to go through. And then I will do it one more time just to be on the safe side. And then I'm gonna blow out the extra water. I've seen people use those little squirty tools for the babies. I'm sorry about my dogs, you guys. They only like to bark when I'm actually making a video. So anyway, that's just a kind of a quick overview of how I water. So I don't just go through with a hose and spray them all. I look at each one of them and see which leaves look like they are starting to shrivel at the bottom, because they'll be fine if you miss a watering, they'll just get more wrinkly. But if you overwater them one time, then they can't recover usually. So like this one, this is a Galaxy Blue, and you can see the bottom leaves are wrinkled, and it does have roots. I beheaded this one, but if you pull it up, well, actually, you know what? It does not have roots. So I'm just going to leave this guy alone. I thought it had roots, but I'm gonna wait then. You always want to wait till it has roots, because otherwise, how's it going to take up the water? This Violet Queen, she is flimsy, and she has babies, but I'm still going to wait because I'm not sure. So anyway, just a quick video. I will do a more in-depth video on watering, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys that. And also look at these beautiful beautiful flowers coming off my Echeveria parva, and then here's some coming off the Blue Mist here and here. Oh, and then I have one coming off of my Blue Prince, so very pretty. And then look at this chroma, so super pretty. Anyway, just want to show you guys that, and I will do a longer video, but I wanted to go over that real quick to just show you one way that I tell. So the wrinkled leaves, and then I kind of do the touch test too. So if I look at this guy tomorrow, he won't be wrinkly anymore. Anyway, if you guys like my videos and want to see more, subscribe and comment if you have any questions. Bye-bye.